Hello and welcome back to that other retro guy and to this huge pickups video. I have got a load of pickups to show you from over the past month or so, and I've also got an unboxing and deep dive as well, and that is going to come at the end of the video. But if you do like this video, or you find that you do like it, then please consider liking, subscribing and commenting at the end, and let me know what you think, and also what you've picked up as well, because I'm intrigued to see what everyone else has got. Now, I've got a mixture of games, DVDs, Blu-rays and 4Ks for this. And you know what, I'm going to start off with the games first of all, and the first one is an N64 game. Now, I haven't bought an N64 game in absolute donkey's years, and this is a game that I picked up when I had an Xbox One, and it was the remastered version. I enjoyed it so much, and it's a game that I don't actually think I've got on the N64, and it is Forsaken from Acclaim. Now, this was a £5 from CEX as it is, and on the back there's that as well, which is stumping me even to this day. But for a £5, I'm more than happy to have that in the collection, and I'm more than happy to have it so I can play it again and see how far I get. Now, the next 4 games are all PlayStation games, 3 PlayStation 1, 1 PlayStation 2. And the first one was from eBay, and I took a chance on this, and I think I paid about £7 in total, and it is Circuit Breakers. It's pretty much like Micro Machines from what I can remember. In fact, I think it's actually done by the guys who actually made Micro Machines 96 with a construction kit, Supersonic, and it's distributed by Mindscape. I haven't played this yet, and I cannot wait to try it, as I do love overhead racers, especially ones like Micro Machines, so that's going to have to be a playthrough at some point. And the next 2 from CX, which I got with a voucher after selling some films. Now, the first one is a triple pack, and it is the Help compilation with Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, Road Rash and Mist. Now, there's 3 discs in here, and this was £25, and it's complete, and the discs are all in pretty good shape as well. And as I say, I got this with a voucher. One of the discs has decided to do a Steve McQueen in The Great Escape. I love Road Rash anyway. Mist is infuriating, but I can't help but like it. And Broken Sword is a classic. So 3 very good games there in one compilation at a very good price. Now, the last PS1 game is a game that I used to have on the Sega Dreamcast. And obviously, being a big South Park fan back in the day, and obviously not having a Dreamcast version anymore, I thought, you know what, I'll get this one at the same time, and it's South Park Rally. And what other game allows you to pretty much have weapons such as the hooker with herpes and stuff like that? It's absolutely bonkers, but it was such good fun, and I can't wait to get back into that, because it's been too long since I played it last. And the last game is on the PlayStation 2, and it is Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Now, I had this back in the day, and I didn't go a lot on it, so I thought for £8 I'll give it another try. Since I loved the first 2 Metal Gear Solid games and completed them, I wanted to have another go at this, especially with the remake coming out at some point soon. I thought I'd try the original best and see how far I get, and if my tastes have changed. So, anyway, that is all the games, and now we move on to the movies, and we're going to start with DVDs first of all. Now, this first three I picked up because the Blu-rays, or the Blu-rays in this set, do not have a lot of special features at all. Lord knows why. So I saw these in a charity shop and they were 20p each, and so I picked them up because they are the 2-disc versions and they are loaded with special features, and it is the Die Hard trilogy with the first one, second one and third one with a vengeance. Now, as I say, all these have got special features, like with the first Die Hard, for example, on disc 2 you've got the cutting room. Choose shots from different scenes and create new versions. Audio mixing. Manipulate the sound effects, music and dialogue in a scene. Wire letterbox featurette. Multi-camera angle shooting. Outtakes with deleted and alternate scenes. A deleted scene, turning off the power, which can be viewed on the first disc as a branching version, so it's an unseen version. The newscasts, original footage of the news reports in the movie, including longer takes, alternate takes and bloopers, magazine articles, glossary, ad campaign featurette, entire shooting script, interactive slideshow and 3 theatrical trailers. Now, those special features, as I say, aren't on the Blu-ray. I think you just get one audio commentary, a scene specific commentary, and something else as well, so you don't get the wealth of special features that are on there. And it's the same with Die Hard 2, which has got Die Hard, the making of Die Hard 2, featurette, deleted scenes, Rennie Harlin interview, villains profile featurette, behind the scenes storyboards featurette, side by side comparisons, visual effects sequences and 4 trailers. And then on Die Hard with a Vengeance you have behind the scenes featurette, Night to Die For or McClane is Back featurette, Die Hard 3 featurette, 4 times behind the scenes featurettes, alternative ending, interview with Bruce Willis, villains profile featurette, 7 times visual effects sequences, theatrical trailers and Easter egg gag reel. And as I say, all 3 of these were 20p each. And so I'm going to be putting the Blu-rays in here, and basically just getting rid of the box really, so that I'll have definitive versions. And I think even the 4K of the original Die Hard doesn't have a lot of special features, hardly any in fact. So you know what, for 20p each, I'm glad to have picked those up. And now the last DVD is a set that I wasn't actually looking at getting, but I saw it, saw the price, and the price was right. It was £3. 3 whole British pounds for this set of 11 seasons of Family Guy. Now, I checked all the discs of these, and the discs look like they haven't been played. The box has got some rips and some scuffs, but it's nothing that I can't fix. And as I say, there is 11 seasons in here, 31 discs for £3. Now imagine, back in the day, this would have easily been 90 quid, 100 quid. £3. £3 for 11 seasons. And especially with the episode, I think it's from season 3, where you've got Brian and Stewie recreating a Bob Hope and Bing Crosby Road 2 film, which is absolutely hilarious. And then you've got the episode Petergeist, where he finds a skull in the backyard and basically decides to pee in it and angers an ancient spirit, and everything from the film Poltergeist happens, and it is hilarious. One of the best episodes I've ever seen. So I can't wait to get started on that set and basically just revisit it. I really can't. Looking forward to it. Now we're going to move on to the Blu-rays, of which there are a few. Now, some of these I might have mentioned in a previous pickups video. I can't remember, it's been so long ago since I've done one, so I'm just going to showcase them here, and I'm sorry if some of them are repeated. But the first one, the first Blu-ray, was one that I had to get ordered into HMV, and it was 15 quid, and for me it was 15 quid well spent. I first saw this on Talking Pictures TV, and it just blew my mind with how good it was. From 1962, a black and white whodunit thriller starring Jack Warner, who was in The Blue Lamp, and Dixon of Dock Green as the main character. And it is, of course, Jigsaw. No, not that Jigsaw, but it is Jigsaw, the most baffling whodunit. And I can't recommend this film enough. If you haven't seen it, it comes very highly recommended. It's a film where you actually see the police coming up against dead ends and how they deal with it all. It is such a fantastic film, and if you haven't seen it, get it watched. It is a brilliant film, as I say, from 1962, where they a body of a woman is discovered cut up and burnt in a suitcase in a house in Brighton in 1962. That's brutal for back then, and even now, it's, even though you watch films with like bodies all like cut into pieces and that, but back then it was a cutting edge film, and it is still a fantastic film to watch even now. It's worth the watch, and it's worth picking up. Get it if you can. It is a fantastic movie. And now the next one is another one from HMV, and I ordered this about a month ago, and I was waiting for it to come into stock. They had trouble trying to source it, but they managed to get it in, and it cost me 6 quid in total. I wasn't going to pay the 15-20 quid that some scalping gits on eBay want for it, because apparently it's hard to get a hold of, even though there was a few copies on there. But I can't wait to watch this. This has been highly recommended by a few people, and it is Neil Marshall's The Descent, which is a story about 6 women who go into a cave and basically get trapped. They need to find their way out, and there's cave dwelling vampires or cannibals or something. As I say, I haven't seen it yet, but I cannot wait to see this. As I say, this was recommended to me by a few people, including Nigel from Rockgod 2004, who was one of my last guests on my last live stream. Yeah, I can't wait to see this. I'm intrigued by it, and apparently even the second film is pretty good as well, so I'm going to watch this and see what it's like, and if it's any good I will then get the sequel and see what that's like. But yeah, that is The Descent. And now the next one is again a film recommended by Nigel from Rockgod 2004, but not only him, but also Andy from Forgotten World of Movies, and I think Keith from Euphoria Pictures as well, and it is Hellfest. Now this arrived today, and this was 8 quid for a Norwegian disc. It's in English, and it also has subtitles which can be removed. Now, as I say, this was recommended to me. They said it is a fantastic film. There's a 5-minute setup at the beginning, and then it launches straight into it, which is what I like. You know, just a few lines here and there to set things up, and then bam, it goes right into it. I love films like that, so I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. As I say, it came highly recommended, and as I say, for 8 quid, I don't think there's any special features on here, but for 8 quid I'm not going to complain. You know, I cannot wait to see that and see what it's like. And that was Hellfest. The next one is one that has been recommended again by so many people. They said it's exceptionally brutal, especially in one scene. I love westerns. I love films where they take chances, they take risks, and I love Kurt Russell. I always have done, and I always will do. I think he's one of the best actors I've ever seen. You know, I love anything with him in it, and it is Bone Tomahawk. Again, this was highly recommended, and I have tried to pick this film up so many times. I tried to pick it up in HMV, but instead of giving me the Blu-ray, they gave me the DVD. And I took it back. They couldn't find the Blu-ray, so they gave me my money back. And in the end, A couple of weeks ago I bought a few films in HMV in London, and this was one of the films that you got for a £5 when you buy something else. I cannot wait to get stuck into this. As I say, I love westerns, I love films where they take big risks, and from the glowing reviews that this has got, I cannot wait to get into this film. This does look exceptionally brutal, and it's nice that a western is that brutal, so that's on the must watch list, and that is Bone Tomahawk. Now the next one was one of the purchases in London, and sadly they left the security strip inside, and of course I ended up busting part of the case to try and get it out because I wasn't going out anywhere. And then when it came to it, and I ended up taking the disc. They took the security strip out, but they didn't have those spare cases. But it's the craze, and look, you can see the damage there, sadly. So as soon as I get another case, this is going into it. I have seen clips of this. I did like it. This has got the Kemp brothers in it, and it's about the life of Ronnie and Reggie Kray from in 50s and 60s London. Obviously everyone knows that they were the biggest gangsters of their time. I love a good gangster movie, or a mob movie should I say, seeing as though that there's a certain portion of society that's taken the word gangster and they basically bastardized it. So I love a good mobster movie or mob movie. So I can't wait to watch the whole thing of this. As I say, I've seen clips, I liked what I saw, and I cannot wait to see this. This again came very highly recommended, and even my parents back in the day when this was on Sky, they recorded it, they watched it, they absolutely loved it, and even they highly recommended it as well, like years ago. So I cannot wait to get stuck into this one and give it a watch. This is going to be something special. I can feel it, and that was the craze. Now the next one was a blind buy from HMV, and it's on the Vestron Video Collector Series label from Lionsgate, and it stars Ben Cross as a priest, and it is The Unholy. Now this was $10.99 in HMV. In fact, I've still got the price sticker there. This was $10.99 in HMV. I've been waiting for this to come down for absolutely ages. This was about 17 quid when it first came out, and I thought I'm not going to take a punt on it for that. But now that it's $10.99, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for it and see what it's like. I haven't watched it yet, but apparently it is meant to be a really, really good film. There's a load of special features on here. There's an audio commentary, there's isolated score selections, an audio interview, there's an audio interview, there's featurettes, there's the original ending, theatrical trailer, TV spots, radio spots, original storyboard gallery, and a stills gallery as well. And apparently Trevor Howard is in this one as well, the legend that is Trevor Howard, and Ned Beatty as well. Now I love a good 80s horror, and this I think should suffice. This again is going on the watch pile. I cannot wait to see this. I love any supernatural horror film which has got a religious twist to it. You know, there's just some, even though I'm not a religious person at all, I just find religious horror fascinating. I always have done for some strange reason. I don't know why. I think it's ever since I saw The Exorcist. So stuff like this, The Omen, and also the next one are ones that I cannot wait to see. You know, again, this is going on the watch list. It's 102 minutes in length, so I cannot wait to get that watched. And that was The Unholy. Now this next one, as I say, is another religious horror, and it has got John Carradine in it, I do believe. Yes, you have John Carradine, Chris Sarandon, Christina Rains, Martin Balsam, Jose Ferrer, Ava Gardner, Arthur Candy, Burgess Meredith, Sylvia Miles, Deborah Raffin and Eli Wallach, and is directed by Michael Winner from his screenplay and based on the novel by Jeffrey Konvitz, and it is The Sentinel. Now, this was mentioned in The Burbs, and ever since then I have been intrigued by the film. You could originally get this on a Region 1 and it was an extortionate price, and I thought, I'm going to wait. Final Cut brought it out over here. This was 15 quid originally, and I thought, I'm going to wait for it to come down, and I got this for 9 quid. There's no special features on here, unfortunately. It's a bare bones disc, and that's the thing with Final Cut Entertainment. Some of the releases that they bring out, some of them have got a load of special features, some of them have got a few, some of them have got none. Unfortunately, this is one of them that has got none. Lone Wolf McQuaid is another one that came out over here with gorgeous artwork, but there are no special features, and that's a damn shame. But this is all about a house that is a gateway to hell, and the priest who lives there, he lives there on his own, and he's the one who's keeping hell's minions at bay. It's got a New York model with a troubled past, decides to make some changes in her life. Breaking up with her boyfriend, Alison relocates to an apartment in a brownstone building where the only other tenant is a withdrawn blind priest played by John Carradine. After experiencing strange occurrences, Alison begins to realise why the holy man is present. The building has an evil presence that must be kept in check at all costs. Again, a supernatural film with a bit of a religious twist. I've got a feeling I'm going to enjoy this one. I've got a feeling about it. I don't know where it is, but that's The Sentinel. Now the next one is a German import, because I think it's had a DVD release over here, but I don't think it's had a Blu-ray release. If it did, it's very hard to come by, but this was 11 quid. It's a release from Cape Light Pictures, and there are a few special features. You've got an audio commentary by the producer Ralph Bakshi, the making of, a trailer, and yeah, so, and it's digitally remastered with a new 5.1 surround sound, well, 5.1 sound mix, and it is fire and ice. Now, I've seen clips of Ralph Bakshi's films, especially films like this where there's some awesome animation, and then you've got rotoscope scenes where you've got people acting out stuff, and then they're drawn over the top and animated. This, as I say, I have never seen this film. This is a blind buy. I mean, I've seen clips, and I liked what I've seen, and I'm a big fan of 70s, 80s and early 90s animation, and this, I think, scratches that itch, and especially as it's a barbarian film as well, and it's a release from Cape Light Pictures in Germany, who have started to do releases over here as well, starting with Bloodsport on 4K in the media book, which I've also got, and also Ronin as well. So hopefully they're going to be another big player over here. I mean, the more companies that do physical media releases over here, the better. You know, as I was just going off topic slightly, as we all know, I'm a huge advocate for physical media. You know, I'm a huge advocate for owning movies. You know, I don't like the idea of streaming. I never have done. I don't like the fact that when you buy a digital file, it can get taken off of you at any time. And I know people can argue, yeah, but you've bought it. But there are places that have yanked digital files from people. And so this is why I will always advocate, or I'm an advocate for physical media. And that is why I am so happy that Cape Light Pictures are releasing films in the UK. It's a shame that they haven't released this in the UK, but for a German release, I am happy to have this in the collection, and it is in English, and it does have English and German subtitles, and it is 81 minutes long, and I'm going to be watching this at some point, and I cannot wait. And that is Fire and Ice. Now the next Blu-ray is one that I've seen a couple of times, and I totally enjoy it, totally loved it, really enjoyed it. The very first time I watched it, I watched half and I wasn't taken by it. The second time I watched it, it clicked and I loved it. The third time, I loved it just as much. And it is J.J. Abrams, produced by J.J. Abrams and directed by Matt Reeves, and it is Cloverfield, about a huge monster that basically terrorizes New York. For a found footage film, this was exceptionally done. It basically took the found footage format and added something new to it, and I think it's about 90 minutes long. It's about 85-90 minutes long, so it doesn't outstay its welcome, and it is a fantastic movie. Truly fantastic movie. There's a load of special features on here, which is great to see, like alternate endings of deleted scenes. I can't praise this movie enough. It is a great film, and this was £2.50 on eBay, whereas the 4K version was about 15-20 quid. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to stick with the Blu-ray for now, and if the 4K comes down cheaper, then I'll get it, and then this can get moved to a charity or something. I'll gift it to somebody, you know. This is a fantastic little film. If you haven't seen it, it's one that I can recommend. If you like big stompy monster movies, watch it. If you like found footage films, watch it. I can't praise this enough. This is a fantastic film from a director that I think has gotten better over the years. I haven't seen The Batman, but from what I've heard, Matt Reeves done a brilliant job on it, and that is a film that I'm going to try and watch as soon as possible, even though I've gone off of comic book movies because the market is so saturated by them. That's a film that I will watch at some point, but for now, this is a cracking film directed by Matt Reeves, and that was Cloverfield. Now the next film was a film that I got after watching The Last Kumite, which I need to watch again at some point. And it stars Jean-Claude Van Damme and who else? Kurt McKinney, who was also in The Last Kumite. And it is No Retreat, No Surrender. Now this version is the longer version. The original DVD release that we had here in the UK was I think it was an 81-minute version or 85-minute version. This is the 98-minute version, so it's a longer cut. So I can't wait to see what this is like. I have not seen this since the VHS days. I had the DVD. I've still got the DVD somewhere, I think. But I never watched it. I haven't watched it yet. So I can't wait to revisit this and see if it has dated badly or if it's just as good as when I first saw it. But yeah, it's Van Damme in one of his rare bad guy roles, and yeah, I can't wait to see this. It's directed by Corey Ewan as well, who's done quite a few martial arts films, and that was No Retreat, No Surrender. The next film is a film that I haven't seen yet. I like a good slasher movie, and this was recommended by quite a few people, and it is Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, a slasher centered around the American holiday of Thanksgiving. It's got who's it got in it? Patrick Dempsey is literally the only name I know of in that cast list, but apparently this is meant to be good. So again, as with all my films, I can't wait to see this, as it is meant to be really, really good. and it's meant to be very bloody and very gory, so I can't wait to see that. And that was Thanksgiving. Pardon me, I'm so sorry. It's been so hot here, and I am so tired. And I'm really thirsty. So the last Blu-ray, the very last Blu-ray, was one that I bought a few days ago. I like Franco Nero. I've been trying to get more into the Euro crime movies, like the Italian crime movies and that, and I thought that this would be a good place to start. Now apparently Blue Underground are releasing this in a 3-disc set with a 4K, Blu-ray and a soundtrack, but there's no way on this earth I'm paying 50 to 60 quid for that. There's not enough there to warrant 60 quid. And so I paid 13 quid for this, for the UK Blu-ray, on the Studio Canal Cult Classics label, and it is high crime. Now I've not seen this yet, but the story goes that Franco Nero plays a vice commissioner who tries to bust a drug ring, and his family get caught, I suppose you could say, get caught in the crossfire, and he has to try and protect them as well. But yeah, this has got 3 special features on it and a set of art cards. As I say, this is a new 4K restoration. I think it's the same restoration that Blue Underground have used. As I say, I'm trying to get into Euro crime movies, trying to broaden my celluloid palette, let's just say. And so I thought, you know what, I'll take a look at this. I can't wait to see this. This has been on my watch list for quite a while, so this is going to be a watch at some point, and at some point once I've watched it I will be doing a review on that. And that was High Crime. Now onto the 4Ks, of which there is a hell of a lot. Many of these are upgrades where I've sold the original Blu-ray versions on, and some of them are new buys. And I'm going to start off with a new buy first of all. Now this again was recommended to me by Scott, the movie critic. Go check out his channel. I'll leave a link below, especially to all the guys that I've mentioned. But yeah, he recommended this on his Facebook page, and I thought, you know what, I'll pick it up and excuse me, and I'll give it a watch at some point. I've got such a stack to watch, and it's Sisu. And it's about these Nazis in, I think it's near enough at the end of World War II, and they stumble across this guy who's basically mining for gold. They steal his gold and violence occurs. I've been told that this is brutal. I have been told that this is brilliant, and so for I want to say it's not a Spanish film, is it? Finland. It's a Finnish movie, and it might not be original, but from what I've heard, it is fantastic. So I cannot wait to give this a go and see what it's like. From what I've seen of the trailer, it looks absolutely fantastic. So this is going to have to be on the must-watch pile. I've got 2 piles: watch, must-watch. So that was Sisu, and that's another must-watch. Now the next one is a film that I've heard mixed reviews about. I've heard some praise it with cravats, and some just turn around and say they didn't know what the hell was going on. And so, you know what, I thought I would take a punt on it, and this was bought at the same time as Sisu in the 2 for 30, and it is Gareth Edwards, the creator. Now Gareth Edwards, as we all know, directed Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which was a fantastic movie. It was gritty, it was a highly original Star Wars movie, and it was the direction I feel that Star Wars needed to go into. Gritty, a bit like the World War II movies, you know, with a bit of a Star Wars twist. Fantastic movie. So I can't wait to watch this. This is on the standard watch pile, so it's watched when I get around to it. There's only one bonus feature on here, and that is an hour-long documentary called True Love Making the Creator. The film itself is on for 133 minutes. I got it in 4K because apparently the special effects are absolutely exquisite. So in 4K, this is going to really pop, and I can't wait to watch it. And that is The Creator. Now the next one is one that I bought yesterday, and I do have the original Blu-ray, but I bought this because it's got the director's cut in it as well as the theatrical cut, and there are some special features, but like the Die Hard movies, the Blu-ray box set has more special features per film, but it doesn't have this new director's cut, and it is Rocky Balboa. And sadly, I don't like that artwork. That his face does not look right on there. Even on there, it's the exact same, and for me it doesn't look right whatsoever. So I'm going to be making my own custom sleeve for this, the same as Rocky 4. But yeah, there are special features. You've got a commentary, deleted scenes, an alternate ending, and there's also 4 featurettes, so there is some special features on here, which is nice. Whether they're the same special features as what's on the 2-disc, I think it's 2-disc DVD, I might be wrong, but I remember really enjoying this one back in the day, so I can't wait to revisit it and even watch the brand new director's cut. Yeah, I mean, I love the Rocky series. Don't like number 5. I haven't seen any of Creed, but this was a really good film, and it shows that Stallone still had it as Rocky, and so I can't recommend this film enough, and I can't wait to watch the director's cut, which is on the 4K only, sadly. And that was Rocky Balboa. Now the next one is a 4K upgrade from the Blu-ray. Now I know loads of people have bought the exquisite sets of this next film. Well, yes, I would have liked an exquisite set like the film, I think it's Film Vault Steelbook. There is no way on earth I'm going to pay what these scalping bastards want. And yes, scalpers, you are bastards. I hope you get explosive shits. It is, of course, Jaws. Now, I've always enjoyed Jaws. There are some scenes where it is quite brutal, but the film is a delight. Always loved Jaws, and yes, it comes with this slipcase. I can't remember how much this was. I think this was about £8 from CEX. And again, when I sold a load of films, that's when I got this. I haven't seen the 4K yet, but apparently I've been told that this is a fantastic remaster. Apparently the picture clarity and the colours are so good, it's almost like watching a new film, and that's what I like from 4K. You know, if they take the time to do a proper remaster, I mean a proper remaster, then the film can look better than it ever has, and I can't wait to see this one again. I do love this film. Is it one of my favourites? As I would say Yes, it is, but it's not one that I watch very often. I watch this every few years, so it's still fresh in my mind. But fantastic movie, and that's Jaws. So the next one, I think I might have done this on one of my other unboxing pickups videos. I can't remember, but this is a film that I will continue to champion, along with Star Trek the Motion Picture, and I will always champion it because it is a fantastic science fiction horror movie. Absolutely fantastic. And it is Paul W.S. Anderson's Event Horizon. Now, sadly, this hasn't got the special features that are on the Shout Factory disc, but it does contain all the legacy features that Paramount put on to their 2-disc DVD version that came out in the funky box that looks like the front of the Event Horizon, which I would love to get, being a huge fan of this film. It's just a shame that nothing came of, well, from what I can gather, nothing came of the tape that Lloyd Levin, one of the producers of this film, found that he thought might have had the full uncut version of the film on there, that Paul W.S. Anderson was going to go and look at after he finished the film Monster Hunter a couple of years ago. But as I say, it looks as though nothing has come of that, sadly. So this is the only version that we'll have. But this looks spectacular in 4K. The picture is exquisite, the colours pop, and it brings a new life to the film. And I've always loved this film, ever since the rental days when we rented it from the video shop up that used to be up the top in the paper shop, and watching it on that Sunday. I loved it. I have always loved it. I will always love it. This is a spectacular film. If you haven't seen it, then this gets a really high That Other Retro Guy movie recommendation. It is such a great film, and it's well worth watching if you like science fiction and or horror. As I say, fantastic cast with both Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill, Jolie Richardson, Sean Pertwee, the son of the late John Pertwee, who was one of the doctors, Jason Isaacs, Kathleen Quinlan, and Jack Noseworthy as well. Yeah, great film, absolutely fantastic, well worth the price that I paid, and that was Event Horizon. And the next one is one that I only watched, I think it was at the beginning of the year on Laserdisc, and I liked it so much I thought, when it comes out on 4K, I'm buying it. I was going to get the Steelbook, but again, I'm not paying the prices that the scalpers want on eBay. They can get to fuck. So instead, I bought just the standard Amaray case 4K, and it is Major League, and this is an absolute blast of a movie. I had lots of fun watching this. It was hilarious. It was, I would say, quite heartwarming as well. There's a fantastic cast with Rene Russo, Tom Berenger, Charlie Sheen, Wesley Snipes. Yeah, it's just a great film, great fun film. And in this US release, you get the you get the 4K and a digital code. You don't get the Blu-ray with it, and I don't even know if this is coming out over here, which is a big mistake if it doesn't, because it is an excellent film from 1989. I don't know why it's taken me so long to watch it. It is fantastic. Absolutely love this film, and that was Major League. Excuse me while I just cleanse my palate. Now, the next one is one that I got with a 4K player, because my PS5, on certain discs, the discs would freeze at a certain point and then skip ahead quite a lot, so I'd end up missing a bit of the movie. So I thought, you know what, I'll get this multi-region 4K player. multi-region across the board, and it was 300 quid. And it was either, you get a choice of either this film or Solo, was Star Wars story. Seeing as though I've got Solo on Blu-ray, I thought I'd go for this film, as this has been on my to buy list for ages, ever since Dan's live stream where they say about like mobster movies, and this was on there, and it came highly recommended from them. And again, I will put their links in the below the video to their channels. That's to Dan, Carlos and Jeff, to their respective channels. And it is Casino. Now this comes with the 4K and the original Blu-ray, which came out a few years ago. And being a Martin Scorsese film, yep, it's on for 3 hours, and it's a film that I haven't seen yet, and I cannot wait to watch it. This has been on my, as I say, on my watch list for ages, and yeah, I'm going to be watching this at some point when I've got a spare 3 hours. Yeah, I mean, I like Robert De Niro, I like Joe Pesci, and I like Sharon Stone. You've got Alan King in it, Don Rickles, Kevin Pollak, and James Woods as well, so a pretty stacked cast. And this is going to be an awesome watch, I feel it. And that was Casino. Now the next one is one that I had on Steelbook, Blu-ray Steelbook. And in fact, I think I've had many iterations of this film over the past. I've had VHS, I've had DVD, I've had Blu-ray, and now I've got 4K. And it's a film that, again, on 4K, the visuals are stunning, absolutely stunning. They've done a really good job with remastering this. And it's Independence Day. This is a classic film. This is a film that basically, the end just makes you feel really good. It's got some classic scenes in it, some classic lines. As I say, I've always loved this. And if you haven't seen it, it's from 1996, so it's near enough 30 years old. It's worth watching. It is just a great film, great film. And I'd actually say it's probably Roland Emmerich's best film, without a shadow of a doubt. And that is Independence Day, worth watching. Now the next one is the first of two films on 4K, and from Matt Stone and Trey Parker, and it's the one out of the two that's had a UK release as a limited edition, and it is Team America World Police. Now I loved this film back in the day. It was absolutely hilarious, and even watching it now, it is funny as hell. Some really funny lines in it, some funny actions, especially when at the beginning you got two puppets fighting, but they're not actually fighting. They're just doing that with the strings, and it's absolutely hilarious. But this film contains two versions. You've got the original theatrical and the uncut version. I've not seen the uncut version because it's on Blu-ray only, and the theatrical is on 4K. So there are some special features on here, which is great to see. And I have watched it recently, and it is still a funny film. Absolutely brilliant. Can't recommend it enough. And that is Team America World Police. Now for the second film, of course, it's the film with more F-bombs than I have ever heard in my life. And it is, of course, South Park, Bigger, Longer and Uncut. Now this is the US release, because this is the one that hasn't had a UK release yet, which sucks. Absolutely sucks. Now this is, again, has got two versions of the film. You've got theatrical and sing-along versions, because it is a musical, and the special features are on disc 2, where you've got a commentary, a What Would Brian Boitano Do music video, and theatrical trailers. So no making of, sadly, no behind the scenes featurettes, which Does suck, but I'm glad this is in the collection. This is just as funny as when I first saw it, and it's a great film, and I'm so glad that this is finally on 4K. Really recommend it if you haven't seen it. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely knackered. Now, the next film is it's a film I didn't like at first when I first watched the DVD. Sorry, not DVD, Blu-ray. I had the original Columbia TriStar Blu-ray, and I didn't like it. I hated it, in fact. But it wasn't until I saw the Laserdisc, I sat down, watched the whole thing, that I got the film, and I enjoyed it. I loved it to pieces. And so I ended up getting the DVD, and then not long after that, Arrow said, "Oh, guess what? We're having a sale." So down from 22 quid to 18. No, it's not a lot, 4 quid, but 4 quid does add up. It is Flatliners special edition. It comes in this rather awesome slipcase, and it has got the original artwork, which I'm going to switch over at some point soon. It's got the booklet, and this is a very lovely soft feel sleeve. It's even got spot gloss for one of the nodes as well. Yeah, this is a fantastic film. I haven't seen the remake. I won't want to watch the remake because this is literally the only version that you'll need. There's also a bit of shine to the name Flatliners as well. This is a fantastic film. I don't know why it's taken me so long to watch it all the way through. Directed by Joel Schumacher as well, directed The Lost Boys. Fantastic film. Well worth picking up if you see it cheap. Highly recommended. And that's Flatliners. And now the next one. This one is a purchase that inspired me to get rid of the Most Excellent Adventures Blu-ray box set, mainly because I didn't like Face the Music. So I thought I'd pick this up, and I'd pick up the second film when it comes out in 4K, and it is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. This is a fantastic restoration again by Studio Canal, and it also has the included booklet as well. This has got 2 discs in it, a load of special features. There's an episode from the animated TV series on here as well. There's a couple of commentaries, a load of documentaries, radio spots, and stills artwork as well. I've always loved this film ever since I first see it on TV. This is a favourite of mine, and it is a brilliant film, brilliant film. And this was a CEX buy for 8 quid plus postage, and again, I'm glad that it's come with the slip, and it also comes with a booklet. So the next one is a US import. Now, this film has been released on 4K over here, but it's 40 quid, and it comes with a load of stuff that I wasn't really interested in, like a gold coloured card which is laminated, you know. So I thought, sod it, I'll pick this one up. This was about 20 quid, and it's from Kino Lorber, and it is The Italian Job. I can't add anything to what's already been said about this movie. It's a classic British caper. Fantastic cast, including Michael Caine, Noel Coward, Benny Hill, John Mazure, Ralph Falone, Tony Beckley, and Rosanna Brazzi and Maggie Bly. Directed by Peter Collinson and produced by Michael Dealey, with music by Quincy Jones. There's a lot of special features on here that have been carried over. It's great to see that this is an absolutely loaded edition. This has got the Blu-ray as well as the 4K, and it's a new HDR Dolby Vision master by Paramount Pictures from a 4K scan of the original 35mm camera negative. Apparently the UK one has more richer colours, but this is still a fantastic 4K, and as I say, for just over 20 quid, this for me does the job. I can't praise this film enough. It's a fantastic film, and another one that is probably one of my favourites, and that was The Italian Job. Now the next one is the second in a series that I do have the original 3 film set of. I've got the steelbook of the third film in the States on 4K. I don't have the other films on 4K, but I picked this up because it was in the 2 for £30, and I love this film. This is another one that's one of my favourites, and it was the first film in the series that I actually saw, so it holds a special place in my heart. And it is Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. Now the restoration on this is phenomenal. It's another Studio Canal release. You've got 3 discs. You've got the 4K with the film on, just the film. The second disc is the Blu-ray with the film and audio commentary, and the third disc is a load of special features. And as I say, this looks absolutely fantastic on Blu-ray for a low budget film. What can I say that hasn't been said about Evil Dead 2 before? This is a great film, always loved it, well worth picking up on 4K, especially with all those bonus features as well. Yeah, worth picking up and worth adding to anyone's 4K collection. Now the next one is the one that I got in that same deal, and this replaces the original Blu-ray steelbook that I had, which I've since sold. And again, this is a great film for me. Grew up watching this. It's a fun family movie, and it is of course The Goonies with Sean Astin, Josh Brolin, Anne Ramsey, Joe Pantoliano, Robert Darby, Kerry Green, Martha Plimpton, Ke Huy Quan, and also oh, I can't remember the kid's name who played Chunk, but he's a very famous entertainment lawyer now, and he actually got Ke Huy Quan a role in Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is great to see, as he was a fantastic kid actor back in the day, you know, and he's great in this as Data. This is I can't praise this film enough. It's a fantastic family adventure, and it also has Corey Feldman. I thought I'd forget one. Yeah, this just, whenever I pop this film on, it takes me back to my childhood, you know, and any film that does that gets a huge pass in my book. Lots of fun, lots of great scenes, instantly quotable. Fantastic film all round. And now the next one was a replacement for the Blu-ray box set. This is 6 discs, brand new 4K restoration. It's embossed on the front of the box. I watched the first film not that long ago on 4K, and Universal have done a phenomenal job restoring it to 4K, and it is Back to the Future. Now this also has, I think this has a 7th disc. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, there is 7 discs. There's 2 for each film and 1 for the extra feet, like for the extra bonus features as well. I've always loved Back to the Future. I've always loved all 3 films. All 3 films for me is probably one of the only trilogies that's consistent all the way through. Every single story is brilliantly told, loads of humour, loads of action, and great Scott if I don't think that it's a fantastic series of films. It's well worth owning on 4K. And that was 30 quid from eBay. Now the next one is the one from Amazon Italy, funnily enough. And the reason for that is because I think the only UK version was in a steelbook, was in a box set with the other films, and a limited edition thing with like a statue or something or other anyway. But I wanted the first film in this series because for me, the first film's the best. Always loved the first film. The other ones, I'm not really a huge fan of whatsoever. The second one I thought was unnecessary. Third one I thought was unnecessary. Fourth one was okay. Fifth one was utter tripe, and I've not even seen the sixth one. But the first one, I thought, you know what? Yes, I'm just going to get the first one on my own, or on its own. Sorry, I'm happy with it, and it is Jurassic Park. And as I say, this is an Italian release, and this cost me about 15 quid, I think it was. Yes, 15 quid from Amazon Italy. Loads of other copies I've seen of this go for more than that, just on its own. And so, you know what? I'm happy to just have this film. I don't care about the others. I couldn't give a shit about the others. This is the only one for me that I will even entertain. I love this film, always have done. Again, reminds me of my childhood, being 11 when it came out. Jurassic Park for me is still a classic. And talking of classics, this is one from MGM that's recently had a 4K release, and it looks phenomenal. Coming again from Kino Lorber, and it stars Jeff Bridges, Tommy Lee Jones, Susie Amos, Lloyd Bridges, and of course Forrest Whitaker, and it is blown away with Jeff Bridges playing a bomb squad officer in Boston who basically defuses bombs, and a person from his past comes back to haunt him and basically makes him face things that happened in his past. It's a fantastic film. This doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. This is a great film, great 4K restoration. There's a Blu-ray in here as well, and this was just under 30 quid from Amazon US. And for me, this is well worth watching. From 1994, and Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Again, as I say, it's on the Kino Lorber Studio Classics label. Well worth the price, I think, as it is probably one of my favourite films. In fact, I still remember watching it on Sky when it first came out, recording it, loving it. Then I bought the VHS, so I've had that pretty much on every single format bar Blu-ray, but now I do, so I'm glad to have it. I really am. Now the next one is one that I watched many years ago and I didn't get on with it. So when the Arrow sale finally came back up, and this was in it for 17 quid on 4K, I thought, you know what, I am going to pick it up and I am going to give it another go. With Donald Sutherland, Jeff Goldblum, Leonard Nimoy, and Veronica Cartwright and Brooke Adams. It is Invasion of the Body Snatchers, directed by Philip Kaufman, a remake of the 50s movie starring Kevin McCarthy, who actually does have a cameo role in this. Yeah, I watched up to a certain point, and I must admit I actually found myself liking it a bit more. I think this is going to be one of those films where the more that I watch it, the more I'll like it. There's a lot of tension in it, a lot of slow build up. But from what I've seen of it so far, I'm actually enjoying it a lot more than the last time. and this 4K looks absolutely fantastic, and that's all thanks to Arrow Video. And that was, as I say, that was 17 quid. Now the next one, I'm not going to say, well, I'm not going to apologise about liking this film. I make no bones about it. I know it's not good, but I enjoy it. I've always enjoyed it, and always will enjoy it. It's big, it's dumb, it's cheesy, it's loud, and it's full of action, and it is Doom, starring Carl Urban and The Rock, with Richard Brake and Ben Daniels, and also Rosamund Pike, who plays the sister of Carl Urban. Yes, it is based on the id Software games, and yes, it does take liberties, and it has more in common with Doom 3 than the other games, but that is not a bad thing at all. It introduces some good ideas, and yeah, it does deviate from the game somewhat, with the monsters actually being mutated people excuse me, instead of being Denzians from hell. But for 14 quid, I enjoyed this. The 4K is brilliant. Stunning picture, stunning clarity, stunning colours, and the sound on it is really good as well. And yeah, I love this film so much. I know others don't, but the world would be a boring place if we all liked the same things and we hated the same things. So I'm not ashamed to say this is a favourite of mine. Now the next one was a film that I toyed with getting on the Arrow US label, but always being over 35 quid, I thought better against it. When this was announced by Arrow over here, I thought, I'm pre-ordering that. That's day one. And I went straight to HMV, pre-ordered it, got it delivered to my house. And this is a film that I loved when I was a kid. Well, not when I was a kid per se, but I caught it late one night on ITV when I just finished work at my first proper job. So I was about 17 at the time, so about 1999. And yeah, I set it to record, and yeah, there were parts that were cut out of it, even though it was on at about 12 o'clock in the morning. But I loved it. Great film, great cast, and it is The Last Starfighter. Now this is missing a couple of special features from the US 4K, but I still have the US Blu-ray of this, which has those special features. So the Blu-ray is going to be going in here, so I can have a complete set. But this is just a great film, absolutely great film, riding on the coattails of Tron. But being an avid retro gamer, I loved this film when I first watched it. Same with Tron. It's lots of fun, some special effects which, even though they are antiquated, I might say, to be honest, they're still pretty good, even though they were made on a Cray MXP supercomputer, which is like as big as this living room, I think, if not a little bit smaller. But yeah, this was 21 quid on HMV, and for me it was worth every single penny. And yes, you do get the slip sleeve, and you get the original artwork as a reversible sleeve with that on the inside. And I've kept that artwork because to me that is iconic. And you also get a booklet inside as well. Well worth the money paid, I feel. Now, the next one is a film that gets a lot of hate. Hell of a lot of hate. And to be honest, I feel this is a decent follow-up. Not as good as the first film by any stretch of the imagination. Obviously nothing can beat the first movie. The first movie is an out-and-out classic, and I mean an out-and-out classic. And this is an upgrade from my previous Shout Factory Blu-ray, and it is RoboCop 2. And yes, this 4K looks stunning, absolutely stunning. The boutique labels seem to be hitting it out of the park recently with the 4K restorations. This looks like it could have been made a few years ago. It looks that good. It's fantastic. It's got all of the special features which were on the previous Shout Factory release, and it comes with that artwork, which I must admit I do like, but there's no reversible artwork sadly, but that's the artwork on the discs. That is the 4K, that's the Blu-ray, and if I remember correctly, that was the original artwork and also the artwork on the computer game for the Amiga, Spectrum and whatnot. And what a hard game that was. Phew. I played it recently and I still have not managed to get off the first level whatsoever. It's that difficult, but that's the makings of a good game, I suppose, although I must admit the jumping mechanics on it are absolutely naff. But this, if you like RoboCop 2, I'd say this is an essential purchase. If you don't like RoboCop 2, stick with the first one. For people like me who do like this film, it's worth picking up. I paid under 30 quid for this off of Amazon US, and that's including postage, and for me it's well worth it for certain. Well worth it for certain. Now, the next one, we're coming to the end of the pickups and then on to the unboxing. This one is a upgrade from the original Blu-ray Steelbook that I had. For me, again, this ranks up there as one of Paul Verhoeven's best films. Starring Casper Van Dien, Dina Meyer, Denise Richards, Patrick Muldoon, Clancy Brown, Dean Norris, Michael Ironside, Jake Busey. It is Starship Troopers. Again, another fun film. Always have a lot of fun when I watch this, and the 4K looks brilliant. Really does look brilliant. There has been another release of this with a 35th anniversary Comic-Con panel. I'm not bothered about that. I wanted this on 4K. I went for this one, and this was just over 18 quid. For me, that was worth every single penny. This is a fantastic film, and for me, it's well worth getting on 4K. Highly recommended indeed. Oh. Now the next one is a film that for me was a blind buy. I had the original Blu-ray for ages, but I never watched it. So when I picked this up on 4K, I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go, and I'm glad I did. It's a slow burn film, but it's a good slow burn film. And the last half an hour, there are parts of it that are absolutely brutal, and that's not a bad thing. And it is Drive by Nicholas Winding Refn, and it has got Ryan Gosling. It has also got Oscar Isaac, and who else has it got in it? Carey Mulligan, Bryan Cranston, Christina Hendricks, and Ron Perlman. So very good cast, very good film. Lots of gory violence in particular scenes. This second sight release is just the 4K, but you know what, it looks brilliant. It really does look brilliant on this. And sorry, I'm a stickler for having the inlays match the plastic stripping, so that it doesn't get ruined. I'm so sorry if I annoy you with that, but this is an essential purchase. This was in the sale, and this was, funnily enough, cheaper in the London HMV than it was in the Harlow one. This was it? No, so it was the Craze. The Craze was cheaper in the London HMV than it was in the Harlow one by about £2-3. This I think was the same price as in the Harlow store, so it's about £17, but worth the price, very worth the price. Very good film indeed, very recommended, especially if you like Nicholas Winding Refn and Ryan Gosling. Now, the last of the standard edition Blu-rays. I watched this film this morning. What day is it? Saturday the 20th of July. And the transfer, oh, I can't get over how good the transfer looks. As Keith from Euphoria Pictures says, I think he said about the transfer of the film, it looks astonishing. It looks like it was filmed yesterday. It's that good. And it is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, a film that deserves more love than it originally got upon release. I love this film. For me, I would say it's my favourite Halloween film. I've not seen Halloween 2, I've seen the first Halloween, and I've seen Halloween 2018 and Halloween H2O. For me, this is number one, then Halloween, then H2O, then Halloween 2018. This took the film in a different direction. Many people didn't like it because there wasn't Michael Myers. They wrote it off almost immediately. But what they were going for was a different film about, like, centering around Halloween every single year. I could have got on board with that, because you can always have too much Michael Myers. But because the crowd was saying basically that they wanted Michael Myers back, he came back and the films were diminishing every single time. So it's a case of be careful what you wish for. I wish that we would have got the anthology films, like a different film centering around Halloween every single year. It could have been fantastic. And this release from Shout/Scream Factory, it comes in this nice rigid hard box, which I must admit is pretty awesome. And it comes with that artwork and also the original artwork, which the designer apparently was nominated for an award for, and I can see why, because that is some classic VHS cover art. It's a fantastic film with a great cast, especially the legend that is Tom Atkins, Dan O'Herlihy, Stacey Nelkin, and directed by writer-director Tommy Lee Wallace, who would go on to direct It in 1990. And that is well worth a look. I got that for just over 25 on eBay, and that was classed as very good used, but this was sealed, and I can't see nothing wrong with it whatsoever. So it must have been literally someone bought it and then sent it back. But I love this. I love this whole set. This is fantastic. So now we move on to the creme de la creme, the coup de grace, the finale, the something else that goes along those lines. And it is a 4K set that arrived a couple of days ago, and it is fucking heavy. I mean, absolutely heavy. I paid £75 for it, which is a lot considering that there's sets there that I wouldn't even pay £40 for. But for the price paid, there's a hell of a lot in this set, and it came from Australia. On the Umbrella Entertainment label, it is Super Mario Brothers. Now, this set has got spot glossing on the front, which is rather nice, on the side, and also on the back. And the contents of this set are absolutely phenomenal. The box is a nice hard rigid box, which is how they should all be. You've got the 4K, which again has got the spot glossing on the front, on the sides, and also on the back. You see, this set originally was called Trust the Fungus, but this set omits the film cell and the stickers in the special cardboard box. which went for a hell of a lot more. I think it was like $50, 50 Australian dollars more. But with this set, you get this 280 page hardbound book, which is the scripts, one by Ian LaFrenne and Dick Clement, who wrote the original TV series of Porridge, and also the script by Parker Bennett and Terry Runte, sorry. It's both scripts, 280 pages, and it's quite heavy as well. But not only that, but you also get these art cards, which sadly have nothing on the back. But you've got Dennis Hopper as King Cooper. You have got a scenery card. You've got Bob Hoskins as Mario, and I can't remember her name, Teresa something or other, as Big Bertha, the bouncer of the Boom Boom Club, I think it's called, which is a pretty good card. Then you've got Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo as both Mario and Luigi with the Devolve guns, which is a pretty cool card. And this one again, Mario and Luigi in the fungus. And then you've got Samantha Mathis as Daisy and Yoshi, which is a pretty cool card. And then you've got a scenery card in the Devolve chamber. And finally, you have one of someone who has been partially turned into a dinosaur. Now the thing is, this film, I loved it when I was a kid. When I was an adult, I bought the DVD. I didn't watch it a lot. I thought I'd outgrown it. But then, when this set came around, I thought, you know what? I'm going to go for it, just in case it sells out. And I originally was going to get the Trust the Fungus set, but I missed out on it, so I got this set instead, and I'm glad I did. I'm not bothered about the film sale, not bothered about the stickers. What I like is these books. You also get a reprint 36 page A6 of the original souvenir brochure. You've got adverts on there as well, and you've also got, which I think is pretty awesome, a reprint of the original advertisement for Terminator 2, Judgment Day and Alien 3 on the Super Nintendo from LJN/Acclaim. And yeah, just seeing that, that's a fantastic movie magazine. Nice reproduction, and it's just fantastic. Really is fantastic. Now this is the card that you get on the back, and it's attached by one of the pieces of what I like to call the booger glue, and it says about all the stuff that you get inside of it, and apparently it's supposed to be limited edition, but I have no number, which is quite interesting, so I need to have a word with them about that. But this is the thing that was the heaviest. This is the 400-page book of literally things like a collection of behind-the-scenes experiences and art, and that's one of the storyboard pages. There's a load of interviews, and there's that as well. Advertisements and whatnot. This is a fantastic book. Not going to show you it all, but yeah, if you do get this set, you can get it on the Umbrella store for, as I say, for 75 quid. Then there's like 25 quid postage. And as I say, that's the slip on the 4K. It's the artwork. This is the reverse. On the other side it's the same artwork, but you've got the Australian film board logo there. You get 3 discs. You get the 4K with the film on, and the Blu-ray with the film on as well. You've got 4 commentaries, deleted scenes and trailer on the Blu-ray. Third Blu-ray is the restored work print in HD and a load of other special features. And there's the 4K, first Blu-ray and the bonus Blu-ray. And you also get 2 posters, one with Japanese on one side and Thai art on the other. Which is pretty cool. And then on the other side you've got the Thai art. Then on this one you've got the Australian poster. You've also got the American one as well. And what a set. What a set. I've been looking forward to getting this for absolutely ages, and now I have it. As I say, I watched the film yesterday, and the restoration that has been done on the film is phenomenal. I know a load of people will say that it doesn't deserve it because it's not a good film. I actually enjoyed it after not watching it for years. It was a pioneer of special effects as well. It done things that people had never tried before, like different special effects techniques. There is a load of background story to the making of this film, which I think is all on YouTube. It's well worth watching. But I do have a soft spot for this film. It's not a great film by any stretch of the imagination, but I had a fun time watching it again after all these years. And behind the scenes dramas aside, I enjoyed it. I'm not going to be ashamed to say I enjoyed it. I loved the film. I really do. But this is an exquisite box set, and as I say, for 75 notes plus 25 for postage, it was worth it for the price paid. Extremely worth it for the price paid. And that was the Super Mario Brothers 1-Up limited edition unboxing. So there you go. After all that, that is every single pickup I have made over the past month and a half. And yes, there was a lot, but many of the films I got rid of. So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, even though my throat is very, very dry now. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please remember to like, comment, subscribe and share as well. And I shall see you in the next video. So until then, look after yourselves and see you later, and goodbye from that other retro guy. Take care.